based off of the composition of Sue there. And his splash damage, as you said, Taste, was way too late.
Yeah. There was nothing there to face the raw muscle of that Zerg army to eliminate the sheer numbers of it.
All right, so Ultrazine Stronghold, our next map, and I do have to say, out of all the PvZ players in the world, SOS is my absolute favorite on this map.
He's great.
He does the finest line between greed and strong moves. He's like really, it's artistically beautiful the way he plays this map against Zerg.
What do you think Sue might end up trying to do on this map?
Greedy play.
Greedy play. Yeah. Try to eke out an economy that's going to be a little bit stronger and punish him from there.
Thing is, I think he needs to scout what his opponent's doing. I think he needs to like do something into a giant Muta switch, maybe.
But it looks like we're having a short delay here. We don't know what exactly. It might be just a restroom break or something like that. It's too bad. I didn't really like what SOS did in that last game. The funny thing about when you watch SOS, though, is I'm always expecting to be surprised if I don't get it, you know. And then instead, he just there was no actual.
It didn't work out.
There was nothing.
But I see what he was doing, and it was cool. It was definitely, I've not seen a build quite like that in a very, very long time.
It was interesting to see how he pressured him like that. But you know, again, the tech was not there at the very end. And you could see the Roachling Hydra.
If his opponent had focused more on like Roachling, he may have been in a better spot. But with that many Hydras out, it became a bit more difficult.
We're just waiting on one of our players to get back from the restroom.
Yeah.
And then we'll get this game started.
Yeah, I think
those were two very long games. So
yeah, this could be a hard one for Sue. This map, a lot of people do feel like it's a little bit Protoss favored against Zerg, even though it's so gigantic. Because a lot of the ways that a Zerg is going to play, like for instance Swarm Hosts, it's going to be hard to actually get those to work as well.
Legend was down there.
Oh, was he?
We just observed one of the observers. He's down there right now. Is he still
no longer
down there?
an observer? Long-time observer.
Long-time
retired
observer. Ex-observer now.
Yeah.
Now our observer here at GOM
he flew into a turret, man. That was it.
And that was the end of it. May he rest in peace. Yeah. Our observer now is Heaven, who's been observing since actually StarCraft 1 at the GOMTV Classic.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Long time.
Old
observing
pro gamer.
People, I feel like in general, don't appreciate how important good observers are. I think in esports.
That's definitely come up.
When we first started casting, we were doing a lot of the observing on our own. That sucks.
It's the worst.
When you're actually just like trying to capture camera shots and talk to another person and analyze.
You can't actually do it. You can tell like when someone is.
Yeah, you could tell.
You can't pay attention and observe well.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
That was like some of the old MLGs we do. I was observing, and I'm just like, I'm not listening to you, Artosis. I'm trying to find out what's going on the map.
The only time observing by casters can work, that I've seen it work, and it's actually good, is at the Home Story Cup, because it's just pro gamers literally talking about the game. They're like, oh, let's check this now.
Oh,
and
see, that's totally different.
And it's not professional observing.
It's not professional observing. Yeah. It's not professional broadcasting, but it is just raw analysis.
Yeah.
Just data coming out.
That's doable, but an actual commentary is not.
No.
Not at a quality level.
So I wonder if Legend's going to be. I would like to say hi to him before he goes home, but.
I don't know. Back into the shadows for Legend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he'd be a lesser vampire.
Legend.
You know what he would be? You know in Blade how they were like humans with tattoos on their neck that were property? That's Legend.
All right, we're going into game number 3 here. Will a Zerg advance, or will it be yet another Protoss? We're going to find out soon here at the GSL.
Sue versus SOS.
This could be a completely fantastic game. They're cross spots. Ultrazine is a map where it's hard to kill your opponent. There's so many bases. It's so gigantic. Like, I've seen a lot of PvZs here that I really, really appreciated. Like Son versus Life, quite recently, was awesome. SOS, as I said before, I think that he is one of the best players at this map in PvZ. He plays very greedily and then goes into very strong moves one after another, and it's like really a treat to watch. But Sue, he's a great player, and he's someone that I think he's going to have a good strat for this map, you know. And this is actually why I was saying also that I thought SOS would probably win this series, is because he gets to start on Yonsu, which is the map that Protoss's pick. So when you get to start on the map that your race generally picks in the matchup, it's going to give you a way higher win percentage if it was a close match already, I would say.
Because you get to pick your second map that you want to be on most of all.
Exactly.
No matter what. So even, you know, it's like if you win game 1, the game 2 almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like okay, now we'll play your map. Now we're going to play my second best map, basically. So
quick Nexus here.
He'll certainly go into Gateway, not any Forge shenanigans. We should see another hatchery from Sue. Whoa, he's actually, we'll see in a second if he's, is he actually getting that gas? Is he going to?
Well, I mean,
he's going to go right into his gas
distance,
and
at the distance here.
I wonder if he's doing something funny.
Yeah. Sometimes you could do the most unexpected things at such a long distance. That's beautiful architecture. They should clean up the
Protoss do a good job. They have good architects.
Oh, look at that. That's where the Protoss pay their taxes.
That's where they renew their driver's license right there.
Yeah. You thought it was something much better than that? No, their buildings just look like that.
It's a town office.
Yeah. It's a town hall meeting.
Even in Ultrazine at their stronghold, they need one of those. That's where all the beer crackers.
Look over here. This place is under construction right now. They said
that's an abandoned.
They said this was going to be done last year. They've been going on forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually starting to look a little bit gross.
You know, it's because they're unionized down there. They're not getting it done.
Well, it's just like full of birds. There's like just bird crap everywhere in that building.
It's lowering the property value of the other structures around there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's
well, it was supposed to renovate the area, but
it was going to change that whole part of town. I heard they were going to build a strip mall down there too, but you know, it's not done yet. So
big pair of Protoss shoes like hung over a telephone wire.
I can't raise kids in this neighborhood.
No, certainly not.
No.
All right, well, that's a really quick speed upgrade. Like, to get speed that quickly here. You know what?
What?
Okay. Last time SOS played here, I'm trying to remember exactly what his opening was, and I do believe it was Nexus first and a gateway into, I believe, an Oracle into a third base off of, like, a Sentry. And I think what we're seeing here was Sue studied what he was doing and is kind of blind countering it, because by getting speed this quickly, if your opponent is careful at all on taking the third, I mean, this speed is kind of wasted. But if he goes down and takes it right away with like 1 or 2 units in an Oracle, you can force a cancel. You might be able to break the ramp. You can really mess them up. And we might just see a little plume of Lings is what I'm trying to say here. And it could really pay off.
Mothership Core driving it out, and Ling speed almost done. Yeah, let's see how this goes, man. This is going to be really cool.
He brought the Lings out before Ling speed could be scouted, by the way. Very important to know.
Oh, good catch there.
That would make me think he should be making some speedlings. Because if you show off the speedlings, I would maybe just sit on the 2. But he's just droning up right now. Okay. We'll just have to see, man. I'm just trying to guess what exactly what Sue's plan is here, because I feel like this is just not a greedy build. This is like a very regular build that we're seeing from him. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe he actually looks at this and says, you know what? On a big map like this, I can take out SOS as long as I don't die early. And this build won't die early, that's for sure.
Now, note, he did miss the first Overlord there on the left. It looks like the second Overlord. Will he catch it? Oh, what? Are you kidding me? This is really bad for SOS because he should have got 2 Overlord kills by now.
That Overlord has personal cloaking.
I can't even believe that. That Overlord has like
careful, that might get him.
Snake, solid Snake seeking suit there.
Yes.
Yeah. Had to get an XL there because he's an Overlord, but he's got it.
Phoenixes need range sight upgrade.
That's what they need right now.
They need that.
You know what our Joe is? That's what our 4 Protoss 3 out of 16 need now is that upgrade.
Phoenix buffs.
Yeah.
I don't think we see enough Phoenixes.
I don't think we see enough Phoenixes, and when they're in the game, I just don't think they do enough damage.
That's for sure. All right, 18 Lings being made. Now, how greedy is this? 1 Zealot, 2 Sentries, Mothership Core. Yeah, I mean, the 18 Lings might be able to get in and mix some things up, but a cannon already being made, he'll probably wall that off pretty quickly as well. And the Phoenixes might see the Lings coming out also. Hydraless Den being made, +1 on that Hydra attack. Might be planning something similar to what we saw last game.
Just doing a good job grabbing these drones here. Now, it takes a long time for the Phoenixes to get this far across the map, so both players get a slight defense advantage. With the cannon finishing here, I think these Lings should not really be effective at all.
Yeah, I think he's pretty safe. I don't. There's 20 speedlings out. It's just going to make him be a little bit defensive right now, and I think he saw. Yeah, he just saw like one Evo upgrading. When you see one Evo upgrading on a big map like this, I think you have to assume there's going to be some sort of timing attack. You know, this may sound like a silly thing, but Zergs always put their Evos together, don't they? Like, you see one Evo wiggling, it's like, oh, wait, that's for a very specific upgrade he wants, for a very specific attack. And
Wouldn't actually hurt
ranged.
to separate your Evos more often, but, you know,
yeah.
when there's enough stuff going on in an RTS game, it's a little bit more convenient to just have them together.
Okay, so he sees Hydra's out already. Okay, going straight into Colossus, and that makes sense. Spire coming up. But Su just going to take another base. You know, it does feel like he's just kind of playing super safe. He doesn't want SOS to do anything that's going to catch him off guard.
You know, he says this map is huge. I might as well utilize what, you know, the benefits this map gives me. And Zergs love to be on maps that are really, really big because they can be more and more greedy.
That's true, but the thing is he's skipping parts of that greed, but he may be looking at it and saying, you know what, all these little edges that SOS is gaining on me from being more greedy than I am aren't going to matter when I start to really get my creep on. We'll see which tech he wants to go for, but with the map being so big, for Protoss to walk across and kill Zerg, like even you saw in that Yonsu game where despite all the damage done early on, it took SOS forever to kill Su when he had Swarm Host. Yeah. Imagine on a map like this, where SOS only has a very small lead from the extra greed rather than the deadly harassment.
You're saying if he stays with Swarm Host, though?
Well, I don't know that he's going to go Swarm Host.
I don't know if Swarm Host is actually good on this map.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually going to go Swarm Host right now, but okay, he's going to go Muta Corruptor, which makes, like, infinity more sense, of course. But what I'm saying is it's like, there's no real way for him to die, right? So why not just take a bunch of bases and, you know, play safe, get into this part of the game where Zerg gets ridiculous production going.
This might be one of our most epic games here.
This is going to be epic.
Because the space and the playstyle of these two, it should be one that'll go all the way to endgame. I mean, mass bases, lots of battles where both players end up with their armies being wiped out.
Yeah, you know, another Stargate. He's making Void Rays.
Now he
doesn't know about them.
He might want to bank the Void Rays. Is he going to send them out?
It looks like he does know. He's making more Phoenixes. Okay, so this is we're going to see a lot of tech switches out of Su. I think that's going to be the only way. I wonder though, because sometimes Zergs just stay on Corrupt or Muta and just try to make that work. And the map is so big that you can't really fault him if he wants to do something like that.
This just seems like a map where a ground army is not going to be as effective in the end game for sheer mobility. I mean, if you see a ground army coming out, and I'm talking about late game, right?
Yeah.
Or end game even. I mean, if he sends a ground army out, you will see that coming so far ahead. You can get all the necessary defense to try to deflect that.
That is true. By the way, I really like this move, bringing the Hydralisk up into the middle of the map. If Phoenixes start to chase down this group, he can send them towards the Hydras, and the Hydras will give all the support they need.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, sometimes you get these situations where ranged Phoenixes like chase down your mutas and kill everything. But with those Hydras and the Corruptors in there, that probably won't occur. Quite like that move. So, yeah.
Jojo's just going to say now, you know, the fourth is going to be finishing in a little bit here. It's all mass air right now, guys.
That's right. In fact, he's so into air, there's so few ground upgrades, and if you look at the Jelizerg/Lenok creep spread, where there's just this one line with like 5 tumors, that's... People who do that, when you see that, it's like, okay, this looks like a Mutiling game all game. Like,
yeah.
That's just what that means, because you don't really need creep for that. Whereas if you're going to go anything else for Zerg, you want a ton of creep. And of course, it'd be nice to have this, but that's not the most important thing.
It's not prioritized.
Yeah.
StarCraft is actually a lot about just prioritizing, because there's so many things you have to do at once.
Like, you have to keep your mutas and corruptors consistently moving, or your opponent gets too comfy and will just kill you.
Nice blink over there. I'm actually surprised he tried to turn around and give that a shot.
Well, looks like those corruptors and mutas turn around to battle the air army. In the meantime, the fourth base of SOS under attack. He needs to get out of range of those stalkers, that's for sure.
Now, this is what Zerg can do if they have a massive air army. You still use those cheap expendable lings to come in there and do damage and then run back out.
Like, that was a very good move, taking out the 4th. Even though he lost a chunk of his air army, that's okay, because he's on 5 bases against 3. And that is, like, the tipping point for Zerg, where they're just way ahead of Protoss.
Yeah.
You really only want Zerg to be up 1 base at this point.
And he's eventually going to get this. With his Corruptors also in that control group there.
Tanking those hits.
Yep. And I'm wondering now, can SOS kind of recuperate from here? You see there's a pylon being built over here, but that's going to get shut down pretty quickly. Again, this is a huge map, which means it's going to be a pretty long walk for a Protoss army to get all the way down to the Zerg's territory, especially in cross spots like we have now.
Yeah. I'm actually a little bit surprised that there's not a tiny bit more upgrading going on.
Yeah.
Because the way this game is looking, is SOS just trying to hit like an attack that can't be stopped again with this type of army? I'm not really sure. I feel like there should be a little bit more upgrades because I feel like no one can kill each other, and as soon as you realize that no one's going to die here, then you need to make sure that you have superior upgrades. And because you're going to be hitting the end game, you need to be as efficient as possible in every way.
Yeah, he's going to come up here now and try to just draw the Protoss forces. Now remember, it's not that the Zerg even has to, for instance, kill this assimilator. It looks like he's going to, but what's most important is that he's keeping Protoss running back, and Zerg can keep on growing, keep on expanding, and keep on replenishing his army as long as Protoss is busy defending and not cleaning up the Zerg on the map. Remember, guys, most of the games that you're seeing here, PvZ, the Protoss is just putting pressure on the Zerg the whole time, so the Zerg can't make enough drones, so eventually the Protoss overruns the Zerg. On this map, it's quite the opposite. Because it's such a far distance, Zerg can use air to keep the pressure on the Protoss, keep them defending. In this case, Protoss is just giving up and said, I can't defend this. I'm going to have to go all in with my army, which puts us in a very interesting base trade scenario.
It definitely is. These mutas are too far from home. It's going to take them forever to get back, but these spine crawlers are really going to help out and pick off some of these important units like that Archon. Meantime, the Phoenix is trying to do what they can, but it's really almost nothing. Only 7 Phoenixes against 20 Corruptors and 31 mutas. I would say for sure that this is a Sioux victory. Like, SOS, I don't know, he built like too many ground units. He didn't truly respect the fact that Sioux was just completely committed to an air army.
Oh, nice. He's going to end up taking out these Stargates.
Yeah, this
is... As much damage as the Zerg is going to take here at home, the mutas can come back, fly over there, and take this out. And he's actually banking even more mutas over here. Once he wipes out this ground army, I mean, the Protoss really doesn't have much that he can do right now. He barely even has a functioning economy.
I'm not even sure why he's warping stalkers over here. Like, oh man, just...
Wow, so we're going to have a Zerg advance here to the round of 16.
Yeah, this... I feel like SOS, after all, I hyped him up and all, he definitely misplayed a little bit here. Read the situation incorrectly.
Sioux, our first non-Protoss to move on to the round of 16, winning 2-1 against SOS.
Well played. Definitely deserves to go through here. And you know what? I liked his approach of just playing it safe, getting up to 5 bases and saying, no, Muta Corruptor, too good here. What are you going to do? The thing is, what are you going to do? Well, you should have actually turtled up a bit more, gotten his Stargates a little bit quicker, probably actually gone up to Psystorm as well.
Probably.
Otherwise, like, how are you going to actually battle against the most mobile army when you have, like, Colossus and Zealots in your supply? And he's maxing out on flying units. It's like these units are doing literally nothing for you. You wasted money.
Well, you saw that the entire Protoss's base was, like, completely destroyed by the time the Protoss ground army actually got to where the Zerg was. Yeah. I mean, there were so many critical tech structures and workers annihilated and everything like that.
Yeah. When you're playing on especially such a big map against like a Sky Zerg, like Muta Corruptor, you have to make so many Stargates. You have to get all your upgrades. You're going to have to do it. And if you don't, then something like that's going to happen, where you're so immobile. What are you going to do? Nothing.
Well, we still have 3 Protosses left. I think SOS moves on, but we're going to find out after this short break. We're going to go to the losers match here with our 2 Protoss players. Stay tuned.